Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking Anthony Joshua's comeback fight on April the 1st at the O2 Arena against Jermaine Franklin. It's on April 1st on DAZN. It's one of Anthony Joshua's first fights. He's not on pay-per-view. Obviously coming off the back of two losses to Alexander Usyk. Do you know what? I actually thought that AJ did really well in the second fight. Usyk just nicked it off him, in my opinion, in the last couple of rounds. I think Usyk really turned on the style in the last couple of rounds and just nicked the fight. Um, but, the thing is with AJ, I think in his mind he knows he can beat Usyk. I think everyone knows he can do it, but he just didn't let his hands go in the right moments. In the ninth round, I believe he had Usyk hurt, and he didn't capitalise on it. It's like he was too scared of getting caught. Um, one of AJ's best assets, in my opinion, is power and his speed. He's a fantastic combination puncher, and if he closes the distance and let his hands go, he's so dangerous. He can knock anybody out, and in my opinion, he just needs to believe in himself more. You look at since the Andy Ruiz loss. He's sort of come away from what he's good at. He's tried to become this, slick boxer, hit and not get hit, and that's not his way of doing things. That's not what he's naturally good at. Naturally, he's got the hand speed, he's got the power, and that's his best way of doing things. He's almost trying to become what Tyson Fury is, elusive and, you know, obviously Tyson Fury can do a bit of everything. He's a fantastic boxer. He moves really well for somebody of his size. And I think AJ struggles with stamina as well. You always see. I think that cost him against Usyk. I think towards the end of that fight, he got tired. You could really see it, and that's when Usyk really turned it on and outlanded him in the last few rounds. It cost him the fight. And he's had stamina problems. AJ in quite a few of his fights. You see it in the fifth round against Klitschko, he punched himself out, and then he got caught with a big shot, and you know, and that because he's got so much muscle, I think that does cost him. He does run out of energy quite quickly, especially when he does let his hands go. So it's quite difficult for AJ. But as I say, I think if he was to lose this fight against Jermaine Franklin, I think he's in real trouble. I think he may have to call it quits on his career. Um, but Jermaine Franklin's a dangerous fighter. I think against Dylan White, he's shown he can be a force. He done really well in that fight. So obviously, a lot of people thinking that he even won that fight. So and AJ over his career as well, Anthony Joshua, he's had problems with smaller fighters. Obviously, Usyk being the main one. Obviously, Andy Ruiz, and in the early, obviously against Alexander Povetkin as well. In the early rounds, Povetkin gave him a lot of trouble. Obviously, AJ coming through it in the end, but obviously there is some smaller guys that he's not clean out. You're looking at people like Eric Molina, for example. I think, in my opinion, Eric Molina just turned up for a payday. I think he knew he wasn't going to be able to beat Anthony Joshua. But yeah, going forward, I think we just need to see Joshua going back to basics, going back to what he's good at. Letting his hands go more. We need to see it. Because when he does let his hands go, let them combinations go, he's so explosive and he is capable of beating anyone. I still think he's a major player in this heavyweight division. But he has to do the business against Franklin if he's going to get these big fights. Obviously Dylan White's been mentioned next, but he can't overlook Jermaine Franklin, in my opinion. Dangerous opponent. Franklin's shown he's a good boxer. He's got the power, and he showed really good ring craft, and he hurt Dylan White at times in that fight, and he was really unlucky. It was such a close fight, and he's shown he can be a threat. So AJ has to take him seriously. Obviously new trainer now in Derek James, obviously trainer of the year. obviously got Errol Spence and oh, uh, Errol Spence, and I can't remember who the other guy is, but yeah, he's got he's got some good fighters in there with him, and yeah, we just and I think with Joshua now, the pressure's off him a little bit. He can almost look at himself as a contender again, coming up and challenging for world titles. I think obviously the fight everybody wants to see is the Tyson Fury fight. And I think if that fight doesn't happen, I think it will be a travesty for the British fans. We need to see who's going to win that. Obviously, Tyson Fury will be the favourite going into that. There's no doubt. Obviously, Fury's still unbeaten. Um, but yeah, still some major fights in this division, and I think AJ has still got some great fights out there. The Dylan White fight, maybe even Deontay Wilder. I mean, that'd be some fight. Two huge punches. Deontay Wilder, for me, not the greatest boxer in the world, but he's got a right hand that can switch lights off. So that's a great fight to see. And I'm hoping that AJ can get himself back into world title contention. And then yeah, we'll see if he can challenge Fury and Usyk again, and so yeah, that's my thoughts on that fight, and some thoughts on the heavyweight division. I'm going to leave the video there. Again, I just want to say a massive thank you for the support. Obviously it's not easy for me doing this, obviously coming out of my comfort zone and stuff like that. So, I've had a lot of support from family members and friends, and I just want to let everyone know it's really appreciated. So, I'll see you again for the next video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.